What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Pit Stop. I'm your host, Connor Laeski, and we are back for another episode. It's been a minute. It's been about a month since I haven't really been on active. I had to go through COVID. We had spring break, of course, being at Clemson. It's been a busy schedule for me, so it's been kind of tough for me to get back on here lately. But I figured after Richmond, it would be a perfect time. It's DEGA week. This is the best time to do a podcast video. So I am really excited. We got a lot to get into. So I went ahead and got one of my good friends here at Clemson. He's a big NASCAR fan. He's never been on the podcast before. So this is the first time. Zion Harris, welcome.
Hey, how y'all doing? Hey, I'm a big NASCAR fan. I appreciate you having me on the channel. I'm ready to talk about some of these races.
Yes, sir. That's what we like to hear. We got a lot to get into, Zion. It's been crazy these past couple weeks. The last time I've been on here was the Vegas race when Kyle Larson got his first victory of the season, and his first victory in a while for him since he's coming back off suspension. So, let's first, I guess, talk about. We talked about Hendrick dominating my last podcast. Hendrick's still continuing to dominate. I think a lot of people are still starting to see, Kyle Larson top 10 each week. William Byron top 10 each week. Alex Bowman, he just came off a win, top 10. And then Chase Elliott hasn't found his win yet, but he's right around the corner, man. It's kind of crazy how well Hendrick is doing this year.
Yeah, it's like every race, top 10, Hendricks. I'm very impressed. Like,
Yeah,
just yeah,
it's crazy. It's crazy. Hendrick's having probably the best year I've ever seen.
yeah,
It's Chevrolet is having a good year. It's Austin Dillon's another one of those drivers. He's been coming in a lot of top tens lately. So it's good to see. Of course, Martin Truex got his first win at Phoenix. It was good to see him back in victory lane. And then we went to Atlanta. Ryan Blaney, he got his first win at a mile and a half track, which is really good to see because Ryan Blaney has always kind of struggled. He's always won at the super track races, but he's never really been able to close the deal. And he finally did at Atlanta. So that was good to see. First Ford outside of Michael McDowell to get a victory. So that's kind of cool to see. And then the following week his teammate wins at the Bristol Dirt Track, which I don't know about you, Zion, but the Bristol Dirt Track was it was a crap show.
it was it was very insane. I was just like, it's like every time we turn around, go under green, caution.
Yep. It was mayhem. I mean, they couldn't see. It rained the previous day. They had to move the race. It was muddy, and then the next day they can't see because just so much dirt's in the air. I mean, honestly, dude, I as much as I wanted to go to that race, I'm kind of glad I wasn't there. That was a dust bowl, man. I couldn't believe they were racing. It was just like, what? And then they went and changed the restarts to single file. I know people were upset about that, but I mean, I don't know how they could race. I mean, it was just ridiculous.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I think it was very difficult having all the dirt on the track. I mean, like just the drivers they couldn't see, and I kind of felt like that impacted them, like their vision, and that's why they had so many cautions during the race. To be honest.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, there was radioactive at Bristol Dirt. Kyle Busch is like, I can't effing see nothing. I mean, I mean, it's just like there's nothing you can do. I think that was a wild card race. I know Truex Jr. had a very good race and he dominated most of it, but all in all, with the just mayhem, I mean, Joey Logano was in the best position at the end and he got his first victory of the year. That being said, going forward after Bristol, we had Martinsville after that, and Truex Jr. got his second win. That was our first driver to get his second win of the season thus far, and that was a lot. That was crazy. I don't know what was crazier, Martinsville or Bristol Dirt. I mean, because I don't think anybody was expecting all those dang cautions at Martinsville. I've seen some crazy Martinsville races, but boy, that was something else.
That was one of them. But I think the most shocking thing out of the whole race is, Denny Hamlin continues to finish in the top five in all the races except Miami. And I just felt like he led 3/4 of the race. 3/4. And he still didn't win. I just
Oh no, man, it's crazy. Denny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin is one of those guys, man, that just can't get the job done when it matters. And I know it's still the regular season. And you know what? He could go winless this whole year and still win the championship because he keeps coming in top fives. But dang, Denny Hamlin, what are you doing, man?
Win a race, you're in the top 3 every week. Win a race.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I kind of feel bad for the guy, you know. Martinsville, he should have won, man. That was kind of crazy. He had the best car all day, but cautions just kept giving other drivers opportunities.
Yes.
I mean, that's it. I mean, there was a parking lot on the backstretch at one point. Just it was just crazy. Martinsville is a very entertaining track, but I have never seen it that crazy in a while. So it was very entertaining if anybody tuned into Martinsville last weekend. Denny Hamlin was very upset. Obviously, he didn't get the win. Truex got his second win of the season. You know, he's always good at that track. So, you know, he came in clutch at the end. And then, of course, we have, you know, this past week at Richmond that I really want to get into. Richmond is a very good track. It's another short track. It's pretty entertaining. I like it. It's one of my favorite tracks to watch. There was a lot of interesting takeaways. Again, you mentioned Denny Hamlin. He had a very great race, but just didn't get the job done. I mean, I really think if the caution doesn't come out with 20 laps to go, with obviously Kevin Harvick getting in, blowing a tire, I think he wins the race. You know, I really think he had Joey Logano on the ropes. He was on his bumper for the last 20 laps. If he had to, he would have put him in the wall. But I don't know, man. It was really difficult to watch because I'm not really a huge Denny fan, but I feel bad for him, man. I think he deserved this one.
Yeah, I felt like in the end, knowing the amount of laps that he led, I thought it was either going to be him or either Truex, and I felt like Truex was in the perfect position, but that penalty on pit road that kind of caused him. But he ended up finishing in the top 5, so it was good for him.
Right. Yeah. I mean, Truex Jr. was another one of those guys. He had a very, very fast car. He got caught with that penalty on pit road, and that kind of just ruined his day. I know he got back up to the top 10, which was impressive, but he just ultimately couldn't get back up to the top 3 with the amount of time that was left. That penalty really killed him. I think he was another candidate that probably could have won at Richmond, but where the heck did Alex Bowman come from? I mean, I'm sitting here. I did notice his lap times were very fast towards the end. And when that caution came out, you heard Clint Boyer say on the air, watch out for that 48. He's got a real fast car, and he was starting third right behind Denny Hamlin. You knew Denny Hamlin was going to get a good restart. All it took was Bowman wheeling that thing on the first couple laps, and boy, he took the lead. Crazy finish. I'm gonna actually show the audience what happened on that final lap. So I'm gonna share my screen here. We're gonna get a little analysis of what actually happened here. So this is the restart of the race. You see, there's 12 laps to go. You know, look, you can already see this amazing jump Denny Hamlin gets. This 11 car Zion took off like a rocket. Pretty much every restart, even on the high side, you know.
Yeah.
So he's getting a really good restart. Here's the 48, and then here's the 22. You had 20. Joey Logano was supposed to be right next to him, and you know he was going to try to make a pass, of course, for the finish. And then there's Truex back there making his way. But I want everybody to keep their eye on this 48. This 48 makes a great run here and makes a hell of a move. And this is what wins races. So we're going to play this video and see what happens. All right.
He got a great jump right there. Needed it.
So he's hanging with the 12. He's hanging with the 11 right now, real well. Now he's in front of the 22.
I said it, this 48, I'm telling you, he had one of the fastest cars on the racetrack, lap time-wise, in this last run. Here he comes.
Boy, look at the run off the corners.
Got a bike coming.
Denny. We talked about the 22 having great short run speed. Alex Bowman with some great short run speed.
Side by side. I mean, we got a race.
One thing. needing to clear him.
Oh, he got a little loose in.
And then look, we just talked about this 10 card needing to win.
3 wide in
These
the
guys
back.
get
I
together,
mean, this is
open the
mayhem.
door up for him to win. I think I've done that before. 10 to go.
Still hanging with him tough. Look at this. Gets in front of
That's
him
gonna
right
give
on the
lead
first
right there to
turn
Bowman.
Clear.
and clears
How
it.
about that? Bowman and Almirola making a show of this.
Tell you what,
And after that, he clears out. Nobody catches him. And he's gone. Pulls away. Denny sort of caught up at the end, but we all knew he wasn't going to catch him. 10 laps to go at the short track. It was no shot. I just think it amazes me. No one saw that coming. That's real good driving by Alex Bowman. He had a fast car at the end. 48 back in victory lane. Shout out to Jimmy Johnson. Big shout out. So what did you think of that, Zon?
Yeah, I was very shocked to see the 48 in victory lane, because I believe early in the race he sustained a penalty on pit road. I think his equipment came out the pit box, and just to see him battling towards the front and then getting in third on the restart and then passing Denny Hamlin, that was impressive. Glad to see 48 back in victory lane.
You got that right. Yeah, that's right. He did have that penalty on pit road earlier, and he bounced back. That's very, very good by Alex Bowman to do that. It was impressive. I think a lot of people were shocked, but hey, he did it, and I got to give it to him. That was good. Go, especially passing the fastest guy on the track, Denny Hamlin. And passed him clean too. I mean, that was a clean pass. I saw Denny Hamlin tweet. He was not happy. He was like, the opposite of duck is what he said. And I think everybody knows what was going through his mind when he saw 48 get in front of him. Yeah. That was crazy. It was crazy. I mean, now we're going into the standings. We got a massive shakeup. I'm going to go ahead and go back to sharing my screen here and show the audience what we got as the cup standings right here. We got Martin Truex Jr. in first. He's got 2 wins. Joey Logano second. William Byron third, Blaney fourth, Kyle Larson, Christopher Bell, Alex Bowman's now in 7th after he wins his first race. Michael McDowell, and then right here is where the cut is from winners to non-winners. So Michael McDowell is the last he's in last place when it comes to those who have won. Of course, Denny Hamlin's going to be first off the board that hasn't won. We got Chase Elliott and Kevin Harvick next. BK, Kyle Busch, Austin Dillon, Ricky Stenhouse, and Kurt Busch. And right outside of it, we got Chris Buescher, Matt D, and Ryan Newman. Even Bubba Wallace is kind of in the hunt of the 16th spot. So I don't know what to think of this. You got a lot of guys on here that haven't won a race that you feel like should.
Yeah, I definitely. Well, obvious Denny Hamlin. He should be up there. And
right.
For the last couple races, I've been impressed by Kevin Harvick. He's been driving a fast car.
Yeah, Kevin Harvick. Yes, Kevin Harvick for sure. He hasn't won a race. He's kind of been struggling, but he's hanging in tough.
Yeah, and then you have BK. That's my favorite driver. He's had a pretty rough season. Going back to Daytona, I felt like he should have won that, but he was checked by Joey, and I think he's going to be in the playoff.
Yeah. You got to put him in there, He's too good of a driver.
I could see a couple of drivers from 9 to 16 being in the playoffs in the end.
Yeah, I think this is a pretty good set. Now, of course, you got 2 wild card races left. You got Talladega this weekend, and then you got Daytona in August. And that could be anybody down here in the 17 through 30. You know what I'm saying? So that's where you got to watch out for. That takes a spot. It's 2 spots that could be taken. And I would seriously watch out for these people right through here. Chris Buescher, Matt DiBenedetto, Ryan Newman, Bubba Wallace, Ryan Preece, Tyler Reddick, Daniel Suarez, Cole Custer, Eric Jones, Ross Chastain, Eric Almirola, Chase Briscoe. I mean, all of these guys, 17 through 28, can win and race pretty well. I've seen race very well at restrictor plate. So this is their time to shine. If you're 17 through 28, you're trying to get up. You're trying to steal a win.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good couple of weeks. I mean, it's anybody can win. Anybody can get in.
Anybody can get in. You're
Anybody.
exactly right. So it's going to be interesting. Of course, this week we have one of my favorite tracks, Talladega. It's Dega, baby. Everybody loves Talladega. Favorite track to watch on television. Massive track, biggest track in the country. One of the fastest tracks, over 200 miles an hour. No brakes. Pack racing, which we all like to see. We got 3 wide the whole time. Possibly 4 or 5 wide. Car racing. It's great. It's fantastic. Of course, the last restrictor plate we had was Daytona 500, and we saw how exciting that finish was. What's going to be in store, Zion, this weekend for Talladega?
It's gonna be jam packed. I'm ready. I feel like it's. I feel like we're gonna see. I feel like we're gonna see a lot of cautions. I just feel like everybody gonna be racing their hardest. I mean, playoff spots on the line. You got to do what you got to do to get in. So it's
Yep.
gonna be a great race. Tune in.
Yep. Tune in 2 p.m., 3 p.m. I'm pretty sure Eastern time, Talladega Sunday. Hopefully we'll have good weather. It's going to be great. Expect a lot of cautions, like Zion said. It's going to get hectic. It's going to get crazy. You got a lot of aggressive drivers out there, especially people like Bubba Wallace, Joey Logano, Ricky Stenhouse Jr.'s. Those names right there, they're gonna pull a lot of blocks. And one bad block, we've seen what happened at Daytona 500. Massive crash. So it's gonna be wild. Stay tuned, everybody. If all is crazy this weekend and there's hella news, I'm definitely gonna be posting a podcast video come next week. Talk about the ending of the race. Talk about what's next. Hope maybe Zion will have a guest appearance again to go over that. We'll see what happens. But stay tuned this weekend. Dega, it's time. Let's get it. And appreciate you guys, viewers. And again, if you don't subscribe and you love NASCAR, hit that subscribe button below. And pay attention to the pit stop. We're always here. We got new content every week. Check out my Instagram page at the Pit Stop channel. I got content all over there. Stay up to date what we're doing. And so adios. See you next week.